Welcome to Bullets Nation, the podcast by Bullets fans for Bullets fans. I'm your host, Tracy Malone, a Bullets member since we came back into the league 10 years ago. In sporting teams, players change, coaches change, and staff move on, hopefully. We don't, Bullets fans, we're the constant. We've been here since the early days and we'll still be here when the next banner goes up. This is our place to talk about our team at length. No 30-second hot takes. We're here for real hoops chat. We love this club. We argue, we cheer, we ride every run and we carry every loss, which is getting heavy this season. So settle in and suit up. If you're Bullets family, you're at home here. This is Bullets Nation. I'd like to tip off, as always, today by welcoming my co-hosts, Scott Husband and Cameron Porluck.
Hi, everyone.
Hello there. I'll kick things off again this week. No Trivia Thursday this week. I've decided to give it a rest, as well as Throwback Tuesday for probably the rest of this year. Shout out to Andrew Bradbury for noticing that Terry Taylor was never officially welcomed or named in the Bullets team. Not too sure, but I think maybe your post reminded them that it hadn't been announced. Who knows?
Funny timing.
Yeah,
Interesting timing if it didn't.
Yeah, my tinfoil hat wearing head says it's highly probable.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to all of those who have been commenting on our socials. We have got excellent engagement and it makes all of this worth it, knowing that we are not speaking to no one, but we'd probably still do it then anyway. I started something different. I've started Friday Fan Debate, which started this week and we got incredible engagement. I decided to put the juiciest one first. And tomorrow we will be dropping our Monday Madness as well. We've got some fun things in there. And what we'll do is we'll probably change our theme each month on what it is we're doing on socials so that we can keep engaged for this whole season.
Yeah, so I didn't leave a comment on our Friday Fan Debate. I went to, and then I went, I'm going to leave it for here.
So the question for Friday just gone was, where is our biggest problem, offense or defense?
Yeah, so I'm with Danny Breen, and I'm pretty certain it was Nick Britz. All starts with the defense. Every year, the top four teams are the best defensive teams in the league. We are second last, and we have been down that end for quite a while. When it's on for the team, when their defense is flowing, makes our offense so easy. We've been consistently inconsistent. I think I've said that 100 times now on the pod. Yeah.
They say defense wins championships, and that is indisputable pretty much. But in saying that, it often seems like we end up being forced to defend because of sloppy passing as a result of turnovers or poor shot selection, which for all intents and purposes, it's just another form of turnover. And Damon Lowry has mentioned that. Like a bad shot or a badly chosen shot, it's just another turnover. It just doesn't appear in the box score.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Yeah. And which is why in our last members forum that happened before the season, I asked our head coach, Stu Lash, about it. I noted that we were 9th and 10th the past two seasons in defense. And what was he going to do to make that higher? What was his plan? So this is where we get to look at the plan the man made before the season. His response at the time was it came down to talking, understanding what the roles were. He said we had the two elite defenders in McDaniel and Dukas, and then we had Tyrell as well. He got a special mention in there. He said in the training camp before the season, they focused on coverages, but really defense all comes down to effort was his biggest takeaway. And he said they'll drill down on connections, they'll have physicality, they'll finish the play and they'll win their matchup. So each person needed to win their matchup and then help teammates out. And the guiding principle was the mental edge. And he said it was very important because defense triggers offense. He believes, as the basketball advisor, he said he could see that these past seasons, the low defense was a byproduct of poor offense. So that's what we heard at the start of the season. Does that not contradict what he said at the start? So defense matters, but then low defense is a byproduct of offense.
Yeah, certainly does.
Walking contradiction, isn't it? So that's what we were told at the start of the season. Do you guys think we've seen that this season?
No.
I'm shaking.
Yeah. And so all we can take from that really is that either the coaches aren't able to get it across to the players well enough, the coaches and etc. have put together a team that doesn't match the coach that they're bringing in, Josh King type players. Everyone knows what a Josh King type player is. We have no idea what a Stu Lash type player is. And often it's nothing against the players. These guys are elite professional athletes and excellent basketballers. There is no question about that. But I keep wondering, are we breaking players when they come to Brisbane because they don't look as good as they do in other places? And that's got to come down to one thing, in my opinion. So we put up our starting five in the last podcast. Whose starting five was the same as the game? Mine wasn't.
Certainly not mine.
I don't think mine was.
No.
Yeah. Did anyone on socials nail it?
I don't think anyone had Dukas in their starting five.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It was a bit of fun though. Good to have that fun and engagement. Thank you to those who put theirs in.
Yeah.
All right, on to Johnny Drama. Our Johnny Drama petition is still live. It now has 268 signatures. We sent an email to the Bullets on Monday. No response as yet. We don't actually really need an email response to us. This is not about us. We'd much rather see them make a move and actually get Johnny back. And from all of the comments and complaints that keep coming up on socials, surely they don't need an email from us. If they're reading all of the comments and they're listening to all of the things, surely they can see it's a must now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. YouTube, great engagement again. Everyone, thanks. It's our biggest listening platform is YouTube. So shout out to everyone there. Thanks to Alison as well, who let us know that there have been more female assistant coaches in the NBL. I found this really interesting though. So she said Michelle Timms, so she assistant coached the South Dragons in 2007-2008 season.
Oh, wow.
There was, which I totally forgot about as well.
About.
That's
too.
Going back away. So
exactly. Isn't that Bullets, were they even in the league then?
They would have been. It was before their
demise,
exit, so to speak.
Yeah.
So the South Dragons were one of those Victorian teams that were short-lived, unfortunately.
Yeah. And so Laurie Chiswick.
I know that name as well.
Victoria Titans.
Yeah.
2002, maybe.
Yeah.
Her appointment was 2002. That's all there is about that. It was really hard to find specifics on this.
Yeah, if my memory serves correctly, so after the Southeast Melbourne Magic folded, the Titans came after that. And then the South Dragons came after that.
Yeah, that's correct.
And Gorgon was the coach of the Dragons before they folded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The head coach, that is.
Yeah, so Gorgon and Timms, wow. I'd like to see that.
Interesting combo.
Again, that would be awesome. Chanel Pompalia, NBL General Coaching Panel mention. No specific years listed.
Yeah.
So she's a general mention. No, it was on shehoops.com.au. So I don't actually know what it is that she did. And then we have Fleur McIntyre that we know of. Yep. So they were the women who have done some roles in there somewhere. And when I was doing the searching, it said there's a lot of caveats in here because we don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, a quick shout out to the little mysterious thumbs down bandit. I see you. Some videos you pop in, you hit dislike, and then you scurry off again. Thank you, because you're actually helping us. It's really awesome. Engagement is engagement, and the algorithm can't tell the difference between love and a little bit of grumpy finger tapping. So thanks for boosting the reach. Keep up the great work.
No such thing as bad publicity on YouTube, apparently.
No.
Totally. During the week, we've had a lot of Bullets in the media during the week, and we got blessed with Casey Prather being on overtime, which was a lot of fun. It's always great to hear from him. And in his interview, he said his surgery was about removing some hardware. So that's even better. He didn't say replacing hardware. He said removing hardware.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really interesting because that is excellent. It means there's not as much mechanical, artificial things in there holding him together. And he believes he can stop worrying now and get on with playing once he's recovered. And that's amazing news. And everything says he will be with the Bullets again next season.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. He's a free agent, I believe. So hopefully it's just a matter of agreeing to terms.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And they've probably done that verbally anyway. A few players and the CEO were in the media this week with SEN Radio as they were doing a promo to get people to the game. They had those special ticket prices, and it was great that when Mal Watts was interviewed, they actually asked him how he thought our new coach was going. How is Stu Lash going this season from his perspective? Non-basketball person, so it's a CEO though, and it's the right person to ask, because who else do we ask in these situations? His response: Stu has approached it with a good attitude. He was thrown into the deep end with injuries, which I'm finding really interesting. And the person I want to hear from about injuries is Professor Stephen Bird. They brought him in to look over this. I know a lot of them are uncontrollables. I would really like to hear from the professional expert that we put in that position to just give us a bit of hope, encouragement, something on why he thinks we have this hanging over our club for yet another season. He said then that Stu was improving and getting better week by week.
Just a thing I want to mention and point out. Maybe I'll sound really pedantic here, but Mal Watts said Stu moved from the GM role to head coach. And did I miss something? Because if I recall correctly, he was brought on at the same time, Mal Watts and Stu Lash. And my recollection, it was as a senior basketball advisor. So prior to that, Sam McKinnon's role as GM was made redundant. And that's how Sam McKinnon referred to his departure as well. So does that mean Lash was GM in all but name? Or did Mal Watts really mean to say senior basketball advisor? And as some folks are going to say, oh, just words, it's not a big deal. Maybe it was a slip of the tongue by Mal. But for me, the distinction is important in terms of what the person does working in the role and what they bring to the organization when they work in that role.
And it's really interesting because that's what they did with Sam, wasn't it? They took him from GM, put him into head coach, and then made him redundant. Maybe we can do
He
that
went
again.
back to the GM role because he knew that there would be an end date as
because they put a contract in front of him that was no person in their right mind would ever accept, and so he knew they wanted him out.
Yeah. The other thing I want to
that's when he
mention
went back to GM.
in Watts in his chat on SEN was the words he used was a bit of contention, and I'm guessing like that's basically in reference to Lash being a head coach. I think I know it's just paying lip service to so many people. Look at the appointment, and it's not sure.
There is a massive contention coming from absolutely everywhere, from the NBL media, from fans, from other people in the league. We are seriously a walking joke. Mal then went on to say his test is how we go after this FIBA break. I'm a stickler for words, Scott. We're on the same train on that one because it matters what people say. And the reaction we have from our playing group. That's what Mal Watts said. We are not shying away from it. We need to win, and it's really important to the club and our fans that we are doing everything we can to put ourselves in a position to win these games in front of us. Now, what does someone saying Stu was improving and getting better week by week say to you guys? To me, it says he's hopeless, unqualified, and needs a lot of help, and he's slowly getting better. It's a parent-child dynamic. Did he realise he was digging a hole for himself in the head coach by saying this? And let's just think about this for a second before I let you guys get in there, which I want you to get in there. Would you hear the CEO, the former CEO of Sydney, Chris Pongrass, or Mark Thompson, current CEO, saying about Brian Goorjian, he's getting better week by week? Or Phoenix CEO, Simon Derrick, saying that about Josh King. He's getting better every week. What exactly is Stu Lash getting better at every week?
The thing that I'm hinting at is that there's an evaluation happening, is that, okay, we're seeing improvement. And so from the perspective of the ownership and the senior management, okay, there's improvement. But the unsaid or unwritten question is, has there been enough improvement? And I hope that question gets answered eventually.
And what improvement has there been?
Yeah, what are the improvements? It's clearly saying, I agree with you that he was clearly vastly unqualified for the position. And so he's improving. But what are those improvements? What are they using as a measuring stick for those improvements? Because
I can't imagine he's hit any KPIs.
Yeah, because is it our win-loss record? Because if you're going by that, well, that's a fail.
Is it player buy-in on the court?
Yeah.
In the response, he did say,
Yeah.
need to see the reaction we have from our playing group, to quote him verbatim.
Yeah.
And the reaction from the playing group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up
Is
to
it
standard?
what they're seeing off the court with the player engagement as opposed to what's on the court? Because they can be two different things. Yeah. There's a lot of what are they using for this measuring stick?
Yeah.
And when do they wield it and start whacking him with it?
I've had a
because
manager who I've worked for in the past who's, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. But that's in the corporate world. But I'm sure there's some KPIs, like you've mentioned, Tracy.
There is a corporate structure here.
Yeah, I suppose
If you
the
can't manage it, you
corporate
can't
world that
measure it.
I'm talking about is sales, like market share, customer satisfaction. But in the NBL, there's the win-loss record, the number of memberships, with the actual number of memberships doesn't really get publicized. But
They don't release them for a reason.
No. But game attendance is probably one of the other ones as well.
Yeah. Well, let's do our own measuring. Game attendance this season by fans. Down. Definitely down. We've spoken about that on another podcast with exact numbers. Fan satisfaction, member satisfaction. How's that going this season?
Everything I'm hearing, it's not what it was.
Yeah,
compared to last season.
Even the happy-go-lucky, like I used to be, very positive, come in and let's see the positive people are either not commenting anymore or they've switched.
Yeah.
Even the person who created the Bullets supporters group to be positive about the team has come out saying, I'm just really sad. And I want a reimbursement of my membership. I'm so unhappy this year. And she is not the only one. What are our other measuring sticks? We've got win-loss ratio.
Speaks for itself.
What about home game wins?
Down.
The away record was actually better than the home game win-loss record at one point.
We've had one win at home, haven't we?
Against Cairns?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had one home win, which is, I'm going to talk about that later as well, because I've got our next 3 home games going. Well, that'll be interesting, won't it?
So do we look at new sponsorship for the team with Coles? Because everything's down.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry.
Someone get Cameron in the marketing team. He's got something
Give the man a job in sales. He'll nail it.
Sorry.
Wouldn't we? And consistent 10 years of proof.
Yeah.
Cam's up for the job. All right. Any markers that they're hitting, we can't see getting better every week. Let's not try to just be negative. Can you see anything getting better every week? I personally cannot. There's nothing that I can put my finger on to say, at least that's getting better.
This is going to sound still even glass half empty. Every day we're getting closer to the end of the season, but that's not even a positive, isn't it? Sorry, that's not what you're after, is it?
What's getting better? It'll be over soon.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from.
Yes. Yeah, no, maybe apart from some individual players.
Yeah, some green shoots, like guys like Divas, Murray, that sort of thing. But really,
Holt.
It all gets put on the table in a few months' time.
Yeah, absolutely. And can we keep them due to what's happened?
Yeah.
If I was them, I'd be saying, thanks very much for the opportunity for me to shine. And now I'll go and find a team and an organisation that's got better structure. Thanks.
Is this where I mentioned someone like Tanner Krebs and look how well he's been going lately? I look at ex-Bullets around the league, and Tanner Krebs is one of the best examples. He's well coached. Yeah, he scored 25 points in the game against the Perth Wildcats, and he was the
Yeah,
biggest
he
scorer
was
for
a
United.
fire. It was
Like at
amazing.
one point, he hadn't missed a shot until there was a half-court heave at the end of one of the quarters. I thought, this is a guy we had.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he's been playing a
Yep.
really good season as well. Just not just one game. It's
He
been
has.
good all
He's
season.
looked better every game. And the Chris Goulding injury worked well for him because he got to
Yes.
really hold his space. And look how Melbourne are now.
Goulding's
They're like,
been
who will
not
we put
100%.
Goulding or Krebs? What a hard choice to make. Nathan Sobey, better leaving Brisbane. Isaac White, better off leaving Brisbane. Sean Bruce was even better off leaving Brisbane. He's got himself the perfect little role down there. Matt Kenyon?
Matt Kenyon.
He's in
Yeah.
Adelaide now.
Adelaide. Yeah.
Adelaide, better off leaving Brisbane. So, yeah, it's tricky. It's really tricky for us to bring anything positive into this conversation right now. And until there's change, how do we? Whew, okay, moving on. Before Friday night's game against Adelaide, it was revealed by the NBL media that JFL may not be sick. It may, in fact, be a hamstring injury. This is a major concern if it's true and it's been kept from the public. So I really want to discuss this a little bit more. My biggest concern here is that if the Bullets haven't been truthful in the way they're putting this out into the media, then our trust issues around the integrity of this club is taking steps. It's already taking backward steps and it's just going back further and further. And it's becoming really hard to come back from this organisation as it stands. And let's be clear, very clear, this is nothing negative towards JFL at all in any way. And we're genuinely excited to have him back. This is nothing about the man himself. This is about how the organisation has handled it and put it into the media.
Yeah.
Or otherwise.
Absolutely. So I did have a think about this during the game and after the game, and as I was trying to fall asleep. So it took me a while because my brain wouldn't stop. I just didn't want to jump in and start attacking the organization for lying. I get that at the moment there's where there's smoke, there's fire situation, and in the current climate, everyone's unhappy. So it's really easy to jump on board and have a go at them. And so my thought was that maybe there was some talk around why Lamar wasn't called up to replace Javon, and that comments were made that it was because of his hamstring. We all know that he hurt it in the last game he played for us. And then, as per usual, the way rumor mills happen, they grab onto only a part of the story and then fabricate the rest, Chinese whispers style thing. And so it was actually maybe Lamar's hamstring that was mentioned, not JFL's. And then the NBL media got whiff of the rumor and decided to just throw it out there live and maybe not doing any due diligence in checking it, making sure that any of it was actually true. So yeah, time will tell if it was true or not. And if it was true, then yes, the club has some explaining to do.
And if it is a mix-up, then there needs to be a public apology from the NBL media for what they stirred up there. I was disappointed in the post-game press conference. Journalists asked how JFL was doing and how sick he was, but no one at all asked about his hamstring.
Yeah, which makes me question the validity of the rumor itself.
Yeah, this is what I want to know about. What actual verification was done by anyone? Do they even want to know? Is it because we're a small market team because of lack of success, basically? So we're not taken seriously, and so that the trouble's not taken to go and check things. That's what I wonder.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks over this. If JFL has a hamstring injury, then it seems the Bullets have not done their due diligence, especially if it's the same hamstring that he injured when he left after the second game of the round. And this goes back to your comments, Scott, on the lack of due diligence the Bullets have shown over these past seasons.
I really hope it was a mix-up and then they mistook Lamar's hamstring for Javon's, but we're going to find out. Yeah, one way or another. But like you said, Tracy, it highlights how good a job other clubs have done with the vetting of their recruits. You hear about someone like United, they contact several reference contacts before signing someone.
Yeah.
It just
It would
highlights.
be interesting to understand our process there because it doesn't seem like it's the best. All right, it's time. We need to have a look at that game. Bullets lost to Adelaide 90-65. The attendance in Adelaide was 9,835 people. Just a quick one here. If you are so tired, like we are, of watching away games and being angry and frustrated and a little bit depressed, then join our group chat. Bullets Nation group chat. Just say it in socials that you want it. Drop us a message. It makes us laugh so much. We have so much fun in there and it keeps our sanity. Before every game, we put our predictions in as to what the score would be. Mitchell in our group chat was the closest with score predictions, having Adelaide winning by 24. Brian said Adelaide by 42, so he was close, but they won by 25, so Mitchell gets the win on that one. The rest of us were way off. We thought they'd do better.
Yeah.
I was watching the game live and Scott was out and Cam was a little bit delayed. And in our host group chat that we've got, I was like, we're holding our own. I still don't think we'll win, but we're holding our own. And 3 minutes later, I was like, I take that back.
Yep. Yeah, I was with you on that thinking as well with that first quarter. I was worried though, as there were clearly some things that I was seeing that I didn't like even at that stage. But I was like, yes, we're sticking in. This could go well. And then it all went to crap. Defense was just horrible, even in that first quarter when we were sticking with them. I think it was our O boards that were keeping us in touch in that first quarter. And the moment the 36ers adjusted, it just showed that we were just not up to scratch on both ends. Holt, once again, continuing to show his promise. He certainly has more hops than I thought he had. I did notice that limp looked a little bit more noticeable after that, though, so I hope he's okay there. I like it when Dukas is aggressive, and this isn't just for this game. When he does it in other games, he's always looked well. And when he's not just settling on the 3 ball, he actually gets to the bucket really well when he attacks. He's just got good length for that. So I'd like to see that from him a bit more. Smack definitely has some rust and needs to get game fit, which is why I thought they would have had him coming off the bench. So I thought it was very strange to be starting him.
Fair enough.
And then once again, the subbing decisions were they're baffling at times. I hate teams working off these analytics and that's how they work out their rotations. I just feel like let the game flow dictate who you're bringing on and off. So for example, I think it was in the second quarter, we were looking good. Matthias and Holt were out there. Dakota was missing a few shots, but he was also
getting some too, though.
He was, and he was the only one who was actually managing to get shots off. So I just felt like he was going to start making more of them if he stayed out there. And then all of a sudden you take both of them off and our scoring dries up and Adelaide go on their run and start to push the lead out. Just make it make sense. Why take guys off who are contributing out there just because your analytics or your rotation says it's time for these guys to come off?
That's a good point you make, Cam, about the analytics. It seems like it's not just the Bullets either.
Yeah.
We just look at the minutes each player has played and when they come on and off, and we think, it's like they live and die by the analytics.
Yeah.
But the impression I get is that the club is lacking patience when it comes to managing whoever the 5 is on the court at a given time. And rhythm is a thing that a lot of folks, including us, we notice. And someone like Matthias needs a little bit more time to find that rhythm, and he's not given that time. That's, what I'm hearing.
I felt like he'd even found a rhythm. I think he was the only one out there offensively who had found a rhythm, and then he was benched.
So did he need more time, Tracy, to contribute with the rhythm that he got?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yes.
Yeah. And what does that do to a player and their mindset when they're in that
Yeah.
kind of space and then
And
pulled
your
off.
body and your shooting,
Yeah.
your body's in the rhythm, it's getting the shots, and then you're on the bench. And it's,
Yeah.
hold on, what happened here? So you have to try and pull from that again. And will it work next time you go out? I don't know.
Yeah.
It is like the very basics of the game are not even being coached well, in that if somebody's hot, let's just leave them out there and see how long it runs for.
Yeah.
And then when they've missed their first one, then you go, okay, now their body needs a rest. Let's give them a quick sub.
That idea, Tracy, of, if somebody gets hot. Yeah, I think that's a key thing. Someone like Andrew Bogut, he talked about when he was playing on the Boomers team and Baines was playing in a game and he got hot. And Bogut said to the coach, don't put me back on yet. Baines is hot.
Yeah. Let him go.
Yeah, and I'm going to reference a WNBA here. So Kayla McBride was having herself a day and she just kept hitting threes. And she stayed out there until she missed one. And then she missed the second one because this is a smart team, Minnesota Lynx. They give the ball to the hot player and they make plays for the hot player. She missed one, she missed another one. She got her break then. But she made, I think it was ridiculous, like 11 in a row. It was crazy. She was on fire. And the team, because they have an exceptional head coach in Cheryl Reeves, they knew how to play it. And so that's what I want to see from hot players in our team. We do not have the luxury to bench them, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So let's look at the stats from the 2-point margin, because this is really interesting. Adelaide made 31 shots from 64 attempts at 48.44%. The Bullets made 26 from 79 attempts at 32.91%. From the 3-point line, Adelaide made 5 from 19, 26%. We made 7 from 35 at 20%. Adelaide took 83 shots for that game and we took 114 shots. Remember on previous episodes how we've said they're just not getting enough shots up? Ta-da! We got 31 more shots than them.
Yeah.
And we still couldn't win the game.
Yeah.
The 3-point attempts or lack of made threes, I noticed some of those made threes were quite late in the game as well.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, because it didn't matter anymore. We were so far down.
The game
Adelaide
was
had
over,
put their bench
effectively.
on. People in the chat were like, at least we won the last quarter. Yeah, because their second team was on.
Because the 36ers stopped trying or stopped
Of
having a
course,
go.
they've got to manage their bodies. They're like, great, job done. Well done. Everyone else get out there and just hold the line now. And so Bullets can relax a bit because the defense, and we'll talk about this later at length, Bullets shoot well when the defense is poor, but they collapse under pressure at the moment.
Yeah.
On the boards, we actually out-rebounded them. Adelaide had 5 offensive rebounds and we had 15. So our second chance points were available to us and we didn't get them in. 38 defensive for Adelaide, 31 for Brisbane. All in all, we got 46 rebounds. They got 43. Turnovers were not so bad, 9 for Adelaide and 12 to us. And that's where I will give Lash a tiny bit of credit, because he did say we just had a really bad shooting night. I do agree, but I think that's your problem to fix first.
Agreed.
And foremost.
And that would be if there was just one game where it was like, oh, we had a bad shooting night. But there's like, how many games have been like that?
Been consistent.
Is it like half a dozen or something at least?
And it goes from good to woeful. It's not, do you remember saying it, Cam? We will never shoot that bad again. Remember that? Don't you love that you said that all that time again? So I can bring it up.
That was the Hawks
episode?
game, Cam.
Yeah, I don't think we've gone quite that bad, but yes, we've still not been great.
Yeah, well, that was pretty bad. Putting up that many shots, having 31 more shots than the opposition, and being beaten by 25 points. That's pretty damn terrible, in my opinion.
It's not great.
In watching it, I have a genuine question about defense. Are we the only team in the NBL that do not double or help defense on Bryce Cotton?
Yeah. So I keep coming back to our defense is just that poor. We can't double him because you then know that it guarantees someone else will destroy us. And our rotations are not great. There's no scramble closeouts. It just feels like that once they're beat and they just let them go. So that's why I think we don't double him as often. as any other teams. I think there was maybe once or twice where we started to double him, but not near enough. Not early enough either.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been suggested that the Bullets can only make their shots when the defensive pressure is off. Then they start hitting them at the wrong end of the game where there's no chance of winning. That's how I see it. The pressure is on and they seem to stop making their shots even when they get good looks. And so how do you guys see?
That was definitely the case in that last game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, certainly feels that way. Once again, I think their shots are pressured. Once again, it comes back to their poor defense. And so their free-flowing running offense ends because of their poor defense. So they end up in half-court sets where they just don't seem to know what they're running or what they should be doing more often than not in that half-court situation. And then they wind up with really poor shot selection.
Yeah. So some Bullets fans no longer bother with the press conferences from our coach because it's a little bit of a rinse and repeat. But we do. We even had bets in our group about what would be said in the press conference after the game.
Yeah. I watch the first few minutes these days and then stop just as it ends up being rinse repeat of previous press conferences. I go in hoping for something different. So I just really need to stop hoping.
I will confess to not having watched a Bullets press conference for at least a few weeks now. It's been a while.
It's good
'Cause
for your mental health not to.
I just
That's
don't
why
see it.
in our chat between the three of us, it's often, oh, don't bother. I've seen it. Don't bother. Save yourselves. I've done it for the team. Don't bother. How sad is that? I watched the press conference and took notes. When asked how they lost control of the possession game, Stu Lash referenced the foul line. We predicted that one in the group chat. We're like, when are the fouls going to come into it? And we're like, immediate. And there was a discrepancy in that.
Yeah.
But I don't think the discrepancy was wrong. I think the discrepancy was the Bullets' downfall and Bullets' responsibility, not the refs making the wrong call, is how I saw that. Yeah. He said it was our inability. This is the rinse and repeat that I wish I could stop talking about because everyone picks this up and we're just left with our hands in the air. Our ability to create the shots we want was the reason why we couldn't control the possession game, is what he said next. Sometimes we get a little stagnant offensively and we're just not able to get 2 feet in the paint, heat on the rim. But again, I thought we were generally creating good looks. Man, we just couldn't make it tonight. Is that not a literal same breath contradiction? Inability to
that in
create
his
the shots he
voice.
wants. But again, I literally verbatim.
Getting good looks.
I
Yeah.
paused. Yeah. But we're getting good looks. So which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one is
All
it?
the things.
On Terry Taylor, he was asked about Terry Taylor and how he went. He said the guy hasn't played 5-on-5 basketball for a little while and the rust is in there. He's adjusting to the league. So we willingly chose someone. This is my question now. We willingly chose someone who would need more time to adjust, which I find just really frustrating. I commented in our chat group, watching other teams' imports is like window shopping for the things you can never buy. I watch other teams bring in imports that fit perfectly. Their scouting is excellent and they bring in, even if they've got a little bit of rust, it is nothing compared to what we see in the imports that we're bringing in. And they just fit perfectly and they have an immediate impact somehow.
Yeah. So just on this, so this time of the year, most imports coming in are going to be in the same predicament. I did a little bit of chat GPTing, so these things could be wrong, and I'm happy for people to correct me if I am. I look at David Duke Jr., who we were interested in, last played in the G League, I believe, in April. QJ Patterson last played CBA, which ended in May. Troy Brown Jr. was August. And to be fair, all three of those, maybe not Troy Brown Jr., he's probably hit the ground running a little bit more. It's taken him a few games to get going, but QJ and Duke Jr., QJ's definitely taken more than 2 or 3 games to get going. He's now found that rhythm. So that's why I think at the very least it'll take Terry Taylor a few games to get settled in and work some of that rust off. I did think he had moments in the game where I liked what I saw. He grabbed, in particular, I can remember one instance, was a rebound he grabbed where he had 2 or 3 Adelaide players around him, and he got up over them and grabbed that rebound and gave us a really good second chance. So that there were little things that he did. Yes, his shot looks horrible at the moment. Hopefully that works its way off. He's not a strong 3-point shooter. I think he's about 32%. So there were some things that I did see I think that rust will work its way out over the next few games.
Do we have the luxury of waiting that many games?
I don't think we do, and that's the problem is we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just like to give Taylor a pass, like it was his first game with us, so he gets cut a bit more slack than everyone else because he's only just come on board. But a few more games, and we really hope that he's found some rhythm and some conditioning and everything.
Yeah, I have no problem with him as a player. It's just, does he fit? Is he the piece that was missing that we really need? And that's not his problem or his fault or anything like that.
Availability is also a big thing as well at this time of the year, at this stage of the season too.
But we have been told about our excellent contacts with our new ownership.
How's that been working out?
So many contacts. Yeah, exactly. Eye roll moment. He said we need to win a game to rebuild our confidence again. He was then asked, after losses like this, does it dent your confidence that you are the right person for this job? His response was, no, I have confidence in what we are doing and how we are going about it. We all have to get better. It's not just the players, it's as a staff. I feel like we were prepared coming in for what we needed to do. Just a really tough shooting night put us on our heels. I'll go back and watch the film, but from what I saw, that was the issue. Sometimes it's that simple. You've got to make the shots. So again, that's a walking contradiction in the same breath. We all have to get better. It's not just the players. It's us as a staff. But we were completely prepared and we just missed shots. So we're good. So I'm also really interested to see why he thinks they're not making those shots, if that is the problem.
So hypothetically, if they did make the shots, we would have been more competitive and it wouldn't be a blowout, or best case, we'd win. My point is that would just simply paper over any cracks in the structure, which there isn't any, really. Like, we need some more offensive
No structure, not no cracks.
Yeah. There's no cracks to paper over because there's no structure. I guess that's the point you're making, Tracy, is what structure? And how about running some plays? How about having a structure that includes some plays and some just general game management to help improve the shot selection in the game environment? That'd be a good start.
Yeah, agreed. He was talking about offense at that moment, and the next journalist asked, you've talked about offense, but on defense, Derek Rucker said at the start of the season, you are 9th and 10th in defense in the league in the past 2 seasons. You're 8th at the moment. In the second quarter, Adelaide started to expand the lead. They had 63% of their attempts within 8 feet. What are you as a head coach going to do to turn around that defensive? And then I didn't hear what the last word was because Lash started speaking. So his response was, you're preaching to the choir there. We're talking about ball pressure, about being disruptive, getting up and picking up the ball, trying to cause disruption and not let teams get comfortable in their offense. And we have moments of it and we have inconsistencies of it. We're trying to simplify certain things so that we don't have too many coverages and just be great at the basics. We've just got to get better.
And this is where I and pretty much everyone else is starting to get annoyed with what he's saying and why everyone is questioning why he is our head coach. These issues are not new. These issues have been there all season and before the season started. We should have already started to see these improvements by now if you're working on them during training. Even with all the ins and outs, the guys that are in would be getting the work in and getting better at these things. So the question becomes, why aren't we seeing these improvements? Why are they not getting better? And how much longer will it take? Because time's pretty much run out.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're 15 games in. We're 1 or 2 games from the halfway point of the season. We're effectively right on the cusp of halfway. So
Yeah.
adjustments should have been made by now. But
Yeah.
This is where we needed to see the rubber hits the road. If we had lost by 3 points, 5 points, maybe even 8 points, we would have been like, all right, we can see it, people. Let's get on.
a single figure
25
margin.
points. Yeah, absolutely. Then he was asked, there are some critics about your background, your ops background. Is there something that you can say to the critics as to how your ops background can give you an advantage about trying to turn this around, as in this season around and this team around? He said, I come in the same every day. I think I have a perspective on the job. The staff, we work together. The players are involved. There's a collective feedback to everything that we're doing, and there's a belief. We're prepared for games. Again, there are areas we have to improve on a day-to-day basis, but I have confidence in who I am as the coach, my voice, the group, how we're going about our day-to-day, and we've just got to get better.
It's just the cliches again and again, isn't it?
The face expressions say it all. That's what I'm laughing at your faces then. Yeah, it's literally eye roll. It's like you didn't actually really tell us anything. So the answer is no, my ops doesn't give me anything. What they did say, and this is an important point, we need to be as fair as we possibly can be, even though we are disappointed in so many ways. They had one single practice with the whole group before they flew to Adelaide. They had 4 players out on the FIBA break. They had a new guy coming in. They're in a tricky situation. We're just tired of the excuses now. This is the man who has put our team together. Our head coach is the man that has put our team together for the past how many seasons now? He has been our top recruiter and scout, and he has been our basketball advisor. So whilst he was in the background, he is responsible for the teams that have been on the court. How long does it have to take? How many more members and fans do you have to lose before you're going to figure out it's not working? It hasn't worked since he began as advisor and restructured the organisation, and it still isn't working now. One great question in our group chat after the game was, surely Stu has lost the locker room. I think it's an absolute yes, and I've seen it in the body language myself. What do you guys see? We've spoken about it before, but let's...
Yeah, so yeah, this was similar to the T-Man's post on X a couple of weeks ago. Certainly seems that way with a lot of them. I'm not going to say all, because there are certainly some that will just continue to give their all no matter what, because that's
And they
just
might
who
be
they
giving
are.
their all, and they might be believing in it, but on the inside, do they
Yeah.
really think it's honestly, truly working? Is their belief honestly there? If I could set them up to a lie detector,
Yeah, I don't
they'd
know.
believe in themselves. They might
Yes.
believe in the bigger mission, but do they believe it's put together in a way that is going to help them get there?
Yeah. Yeah, possibly not. But it's certainly clear that, yeah, more of the team he's lost than not. That's what I'm...
But in the Bullets organization, guys like Nordo, they can be relied on for leadership. Leadership can't just come from the senior members of the playing group, though. Yeah.
This is where it does have a corporate structure and where it trickles down from the top.
Yeah.
It's got the leadership's got to trickle from the ownership into the senior management, into the coaches, into the players, into the fans. That is the hierarchy, and it doesn't seem to be flowing. We really, truly do wonder how long we have to wait for the owners to own up to making a mistake. They have made a massive mistake this season, and how long is it going to take them to change it? We will forgive them for this massive mistake, only if they rectify it. If they don't, then they'll lose the complete respect of members and fans, because they're losing it now. So if they don't move quickly, they're going to lose it more and more. And good luck getting people to spend their hard-earned money attending a game and actually getting to a game. Already, so many members have said publicly that they have no reason to renew their membership next season, and a lot are asking for refunds on their membership this season because it has been so incredibly terrible. And they have two reasons, two very clear reasons as to why they want a refund. No Johnny Drama has completely ruined the game day experience. We haven't been a winning team in previous seasons, and memberships have gone up every season, and people have attended games, and we've been happy enough walking out of the game because of our game day experience. That's the number one reason. And number two is the lack of winning due to the lack of experience in the head coach. And it said, you brought in this head coach and we've lost faith in you. Someone upgraded last season to courtside. I know two groups who have done this. It's $13,000. They paid it off over the season. This is publicly available in the Facebook groups, the Bullets supporters and Bullets banters. And because they said it was so much fun. They had so much fun. And we were not a winning team last season. And they will not be members again next season if nothing changes. They're not like going to downgrade. They're just not going to bother. Not that many people are even interested in our mid-season members forum as such, because we know we're going to get the corporate speak again. And we're going to have the two people there that have been giving us the corporate speak. We need to hear from our owners now. If we had the correct corporate structure and leadership structure in place, this is the moment we would want to be hearing from our GM of basketball. So if Sam McKinnon was in this role and the coach wasn't going well and we had a CEO that was inexperienced with basketball and our owners weren't talking to us, I'd be saying, GM, I want to hear from you now. Do you think this is acceptable? But we don't have this structure in place. We don't have it. So now we have to hear from the owners because they're the ones who are letting this direction continue. Every day they are choosing to keep this going. With any luck, we will get to hear that they are bringing Johnny Drama back. If they aren't making those calls already, then they are literally, truly digging their own graves. If you cannot read the room, if you cannot listen to the people who are showing up to games and now not showing up to games, other than that, I believe we'll hear the same old. Other than hearing in this members forum Johnny Drama coming back or not, I don't think there's anything that they can tell us. Because the two people that are coming are the ones we don't want to hear from. And they're the ones that we actually want to be challenging the owners for their positions and saying, why are these people in these positions if we're not being delivered our game day experience and a coach that we can trust and move forward with? We have no expert basketball coaches turning up to the forum. So how can they answer any of our basketball questions?
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the upcoming members forum?
I concur with any sentiment that we're just going to get the corporate speak.
Yeah. I kind of feeling the same way. I'll still tune in just to see what people have thrown in questions and to see what the responses they get.
And if some of them will even be answered.
Yes. Yeah. Having seen what some of them are. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have to put up with more games this season. Lucky us. Our next game, so our games this round. On Wednesday, the 11th, we have the Ignite Cup versus Illawarra Hawks down in Illawarra. For some reason, we haven't ever played well in Illawarra. So I'm going to say Hawks by 15, maybe 30 if Sam Frolling's back. If I see Sam Frolling take the court, I think everyone will lift for him. I have nothing new to say here. I'm not going to talk about what it is we need to do because they don't really do it anyway. What I feel is sad. I feel really sad about our level of performance coming out of the FIBA break, which we were all hanging on. It was the one thing that we had to cling on to. If we saw improvement, then we could see where we were heading and we just didn't get it. But now I'm just sad.
Yeah, this game's definitely a concern. Every game at the moment is a concern. I'm not too worried about Frolling being back if he is back because he'll be on restricted minutes for a while to come. So I don't think he's going to be too impactful on them.
It's more so that the crowd will lift having their man back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The energy of the whole team will rise because they've got another man back.
Yeah. Look, I think the Hawks are now coming off a loss to Cairns. They're going to be angry with themselves. They'll come out with a point to prove. Tatum will have them fired up. McGee's got it over Tyrell at the moment. Both teams play a similar drop coverage style of basketball, so there's no advantage to us here. So I'm going Hawks by 20.
Tatum will also have the officiating. He'll have that primed
Yeah.
as well. Sorry, I'm being a bit cynical, but yeah, it's hard for me to see anything
I
other
listened
than...
to his press conference in his last game. Not once did he mention the referees at all.
Okay.
He put it onto his players and he put it onto what he needs to work on in their training sessions. Because I went and had a look. I was like, I wonder what he's saying here. I go and look at all the whingy coaches and they've totally changed.
Yeah.
Maybe getting a couple of W's does that when you're holding the clipboard. But for me, yeah, Hawks by more than 20, but less than 25. That's where I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is we're on a losing streak. I want the losing streak to end, but I just find it difficult to see that happening. But I want to be proven wrong, of course. I sound like a broken record when I say that.
Yeah.
I want to be proven.
We all do. We're so happy to be wrong. I've never been more desperate to be wrong in my whole entire life. All right, then we've got a home game on Sunday the 14th. We're at home against the Perth Wildcats. I'm just going to tip it, Perth by 20. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Perth at the moment, and I'm watching their progression get better and better every game.
So we tend to match up well with Perth, even when they are looking good. I know that sounds weird because there's always that rivalry back through the late 80s, early 90s, and I think that's always egged the Bullets on just that little bit. So I'm going to go and be a bit more optimistic here. Being that it's at home, I'm going to go Perth by 5. I'm being really optimistic here.
While they played against United, it's hard to see us like being competitive against Wildcats team that are primed like they were against United. And until the losing streak ends, I'm finding it difficult to tip a Bullets W. I'm really trying really hard to be glass half full, but I'm still glass half empty right now. And so Wildcats by less than 20, but more than 15. So
15 to 20, yep. Yep. This season, we've won one home game so far. Our next 3 home games are against Perth, New Zealand, and then Melbourne United. And you would think, New Zealand, we'll get that one. Have you seen how they're playing lately? This is why I'm so disappointed and so sad, because I can see every other team, even Cairns, making that bit of improvement. And Cairns have got players out and we'll get them back soon enough. So they will make a run at the end of the season as well to not be the bottom of the ladder. And can you see us winning any one of these? I actually genuinely can't.
It's really hard right now.
Yeah, I can't see us winning any of those 3. Our good friend Andrew Bratby, once again, he came out and stated that the Bullets will not win another game this season. There was a few people that were, yes, they would, and he asked who it would be against. I don't know if he actually got any answers. I didn't answer it, but I can't see us winning these next 3 home games. I still think we're trying to work out the new guys and so forth and getting Smack into full fitness. But I think somewhere along the way, we'll sneak at least 1 or 2 in where a team just waltzes in thinking that they're going to walk it in and we'll catch them by surprise. I think we're at
they'll be on a
point-
winning streak.
Yeah.
And we'll just surprise them. We'll come out and have one of those blinders and surprise them. So I do believe we'll win one. I cannot predict when it will be because I don't think it will be within our control.
Yeah.
Always, our wins have got a lot more to do with the opposition than us. I don't feel like we're taking control of games. I think they're dropping games. Yeah. And that's the bit that frustrates me the most is I do not believe we have an identity and we don't go out there and take games away from teams.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Tracy, and it's boring for the listeners that we're agreeing, but yeah, the lack of identity, that's an issue. And also that the opposition that we're playing against don't capitalize on whatever position that they're in, that they give up a lead or things like that. Like a game against New Zealand, Lamar Patterson hits shots and somehow we get the W. Andrew, if you're listening, I think you're just trying to lower your expectations, and I am only a tiny bit more optimistic. We will win a game. I just don't know when, possibly not one of the next few. Like, it'll happen. Surely we'll get like at least a couple.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at the rest of our games for this season. We've got Illawarra, Perth, South East Melbourne, New Zealand, Melbourne United, Sydney Kings. Can you see us lucking one of those in by the end of this year?
By the end of this year.
It's really hard.
Yeah,
it's just really hard.
Yeah,
to make.
maybe the Kings. Maybe the Kings.
I thought maybe the Kings too, but remember how well they play against us? Xavier Cooks goes off when he plays us.
Yeah, look, we could also, I know I said I didn't think we'd beat New Zealand. We could get New Zealand at home.
Depends on Menenga, yeah. PJC and Menenga, if they both go off.
Yeah. So the one, at least one in there, I think we might sneak one in.
Okay. So we will be, if our predictions are right, we will be bottom of the table by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nah. I took over yeah, nah this week. I wanted to have some fun. We got more than one question, let me tell you. We got yeah, nahs coming out my ears. All right. Yeah, nah. Will Stu Lash still be head coach of the Bullets at the end of this season?
My prediction is yes, the end of the season. So I'm saying yes, the end of the season. But start of next season, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. Yes, because yeah, I'm with you. I think they're going to persist because they don't want to own up to their mistake.
I'm going with nah. That's my Christmas wish. Yeah, nah.
For tracks.
I'm going with what I want instead of what I think they'll do. Yeah,
All I
nah.
want for Christmas is a new coach.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, nah. Mitchell from our Bullets Nation chat group will be head coach by the end of the season.
He's at least as well qualified as the other so-called coach, but sorry, Mitch.
That one was for our
credentialed,
Bullets
but
Nation group chat. I had to put it in there because I was like, how can I get our group chat in there?
You definitely deserve a shout out, Mitchell.
Yeah.
This is what we talk about.
Yeah, I go nah, but yeah, he's definitely just as qualified as the current coach.
Absolutely. I'm going, yeah. Yeah, nah. This is the lowest rock bottom our team organisation has been in since we came back into the league 10 years ago.
I'm saying, yeah, like it's worse than last season and it's worse than the season before. Well, actually, season
worse
before
than
was
every season. It is
Yeah.
worse
Worse
than the
than
James
when-
Duncan season.
that period. Yeah, it's worse than that.
Yeah, I'm going, yeah. It is. Even the ones where we won the wooden spoon.
Totally. I agree. I absolutely agree because they ruined game day as well. We've got nothing. They took everything from us this season. They left us with nothing. No joy. I'm a person who loves to follow joy, and this team has brought me none this season. Yeah, nah. Johnny Drama returning would improve team chemistry instantly.
Johnny improves a
Yeah.
lot of things, so I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I'm a yeah. And do you know why? Because the sixth man will be happy and they'll be bringing the vibes to the game. And
Yep.
so that means the team chemistry will lift because everyone will feel it. At the
Yep.
moment, the juju in the room is all thumbs down.
I think Boom, he needs some hyping up by someone like Johnny.
Yeah.
He needs support by someone like Johnny. That's right. Because Johnny being there, bringing the hype makes Boom, because it's the same Boom we've had for seasons gone by. The guy's a professional and we've seen how excellent he can be. And even he's lost his juju mojo.
Yeah.
So we need that seriously. Yeah, nah. Next Sunday's home game against Perth will have more than 4,000 people attending the game.
The only reason I'm going with yeah is because it's a Sunday and that will help.
I'm going
Still
with
hold
yeah, yeah. I'm going with yeah because they're throwing a lot of cheap tickets out there. And I think there might be some freebies to certain areas of people. So they'll
I'm
get
going
numbers up.
with Yeah, I'm going with nah on that one. I don't think so. I think the disgruntled members
Members, yeah.
who decides who comes to a game. They told us at the start of the season, members, you're our number one salespeople. Tell your friends. Which members right now are okay with bringing friends, telling people about how great the Bullets game is? On the Johnny Drama petition, there was a guy there that said, everyone's talking, what has happened to Bullets games days? In Melbourne, I'm hearing people talk about how bad
Wow.
they are and they've lost their vibe. There are people who sit in Platinum and paid lots of money for their tickets and they have spare seats next to them. And at the last home games, they talked to the people next to them. They said, yeah, these are great seats for $25.
Yeah.
They are losing the people. They are losing their members. They are losing faith. I cannot see the public who would go, Bullets game for $10. Why bother? I can go into a Christmas party. I can go and do something else. I just think there's so much going on at the moment that trying to push it in December, even though it's a Sunday, even though it's school holidays, why would people come to a Bullets game instead of going and doing something else with everything that's gone on this season? So I'm a nah on that one. Yeah, nah. Tuesday's members forum will be filled with political speak and no actual answers that are helpful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. Bullets membership should come with a free therapy session for every seat purchased.
Right now,
Yes,
we all
please.
feel like we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Answer is yeah. Yeah. All right. So to wrap up today, if you could speak to the owners, if you could actually speak to the owners, and one owner in particular, we know that Ben watches this, but Ben is not the basketball expert. He is not the one running the show from everything that we've really heard and understood. And he did say Jason is the one. And we have heard that Mal speaks to Jason regularly, almost daily. So Jason Levian is the one owner who seems to be controlling the ship. He's the one who put his mate in the coaching position. What is it, something that you could say to him now? But first of all, so what's really interesting about Jason Levy and why I agree with you guys that the coach won't be changed before the end of the season is the person who's truly running the show put his mate into the head coaching position, and now he has a direct conflict of interest to pull him out because he put him into a position that he wasn't qualified for and he should never have been put in the first place. So now who's going to take responsibility for this? I don't have anything against you, Lash, personally. He was put in a position that he is not qualified for and should never have been put in the first place, although he did have the opportunity to say, not me, guys. I don't think I'm actually the best person for this position and what the organisation needs moving forward. But what would you say to Jason Levian right now as an owner? Or what do you think of Jason Levian as his choice and his choices this season?
What were you thinking? Why? What benefit did you see in putting Lash in, or even suggesting Lash as a head coach? Where was the thinking there? Like, what possible thought process would lead you to think that it was going to be a successful decision? That would be my question to him.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's the most out there, weirdest decision like any owner's probably come up with.
Ever in the history of
Ever.
the NBL.
Yeah.
Full stop. Scott?
So I'd like to rewind a bit to it's a while ago now. That it was a few years ago. Jason Levin was interviewed on the basketball show, which is not on anymore, unfortunately. That was Shane Heal and Joe Healy. So it's a while ago. But at the time, it was things
So
were.
how many seasons ago was that? Let's put a timeline
think-
on it. Was that when Stu Lash was first
So this was
appointed, or
prior
before that?
to Lash and Watts coming on board. That's my recollection. So I'm going to say like about 3 years ago, but I would need to confirm that. But that was the basketball show with Shane Heal and Joe Healy, and he was saying that, we haven't been very active because things need to be sorted out. We're going to be more active. And I think it was around about the time that James Duncan was showing the door. It was around about that time. And James Duncan, he had a record of 2-5 when he was let go. We're a bit past that sort of number of games already. So I suppose my question is, back then, if you were told this is a situation that might have panned out, would you have believed anyone if they told you?
My question is, back then, I remember a members forum. Jason turned up and spoke to us, and they promised that they were going to be more active and more engaged. And I do believe they probably have been more active and engaged with the CEO and probably the coach because it's his mate. They have not. We have not had a single word from them to us, not a single owner at all since then. So what was that, 3 years ago? We are getting to the point, somebody flagged it and said, should we do this video? I can't remember, I think it was baseball or something like that, where the members and fans were so disgruntled with the ownership not spending money and not making any actually decent decisions that they started chanting so loud that nobody could hear what was going on, sell the team. It wasn't sack the coach, it was sell the team. Your choices that you are making so consistently have been so horrible. Please sell the team to somebody who gives a damn and is going to make choices that actually work with our team and with our fan and member base. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh, gee, that's a bit rough. That's a bit rough. It's not that bad, is it? Now I'm like, okay, we've had the first game now. It's time. It's time. It's my big thing to Jason. It's a request. If you guys aren't going to change anything, sell the team. Find someone to sell it to who's actually going to listen to members and fans and move forward together with us and lay a foundation, because we are done. We're so sick of this. Season after season, we're sick of the platitudes. We're sick of everything you've been saying because you haven't backed up one of them yet. Yep. Felix Van Hoff at the end of overtime when he throws his pieces of paper. That's what I want to do now. See you all next time. Thank you so much for engaging with us, being with us, staying with us. We will ride this trough for as long as it takes. We will come back in weekly. Now, next Sunday, we have a game at home next Sunday, so we will not be recording on the Sunday. We'll record on the Monday and our episode will come out then. And then games get a bit weird, but we'll record every Sunday except when we've got a home game on the Sunday, and then we will record on the Monday. So stay with us. Join our group chat. It really does keep your sanity. I laughed my way through that last game against Adelaide because of the things that were happening in that chat, because we weren't really watching the game anymore. We were just keeping each other's spirits high so that nobody started to cry from being sad. We were crying from laughing instead. So come and join us in there. It is loads of fun. And thank you for watching this podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode of Bullets Nation.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
From the river city under bright skies, where the hustle and heart always rise. One team, one voice, we're giving our all. Feel the rush, hear the crowd, Bullets Nation.